Hi, welcome back to Sophie's Books, or welcome if you're new here. It's the 15th of September today, it's a Monday, and it's the start of a new weekly vlog. Before I talk about what I'm going to be doing today, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of my weekend, as it was quite an interesting one. I didn't really film anything, so I won't have any footage to show you. I did go to a women witchcraft and folklore event, which was a series of lectures given by university professors, a lot focused on kind of the history, so the witch trials and why women were persecuted as witches. Also, there was a really interesting one on curse tablets, how people in ancient Rome used to write down curses on these lead tablets, to curse their neighbours and lovers and whoever else. But yeah, that was really interesting. And I think the most interesting one was a speaker who talked about witchcraft in kind of pop culture. So yeah, this is kind of, she mainly focused on like 90s witches, and yeah, so Sabrina, Charmed, Buffy, and then also Wicked, so yeah, right up my street. And then yesterday we went to Strawberry Hill House. This is a house that is located near Twickenham in London, and yeah, they had this dried flower event where an artist had created various installations from flowers, from dried flowers, and that was really nice. And the castle was, yeah, very kind of gothic. It belonged to Horace Walpole, who is some descendant of a politician, I think, but he had this house built, and he was actually a gothic novelist, and I hadn't heard of him before. But yeah, he wrote this book, The Castle of Otranto, which is actually the first supernatural English novel, and apparently one of the most influential works of gothic fiction, but I have never heard of this. So I bought a copy while I was at Strawberry Hill House, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this and finding out why this is one of the most influential gothic works. So unfortunately, I am back at the beginning with my job search. So I found out last week that the second round interview I went for, I wasn't successful, so that's a real shame. And then I found out today that another job that I had an interview for, they filled the position internally. So we're basically back to the beginning again, which is disheartening. And yeah, it's knocked me back a bit, but yeah, we'll just have to keep going and see what we can do. But in the meantime, today I'm just going to do some reading, I think. We are going to veer slightly off my September TBR. I seem to have strayed away from that quite a lot the last few days. But yeah, I have a couple of books that I started and wanted to finish. One of these is Faithbreaker by Hekate, and this is part of a trilogy about a god killer. And yeah, I have this on audiobook on loan from the library, so I wanted to get that finished before that was due back. So we have that today, and also I have the Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare, which is the second in the Chronicles of Castellane series. This is about a guy who is a sword catcher to the prince, and yeah, that just means that he stands in as a body double for him at various events, and his sole purpose in life is to protect the prince. But again, I'd started this and I have the audiobook on loan, and that is due back soon. So I'll be doing some reading with the audiobook, which I've been enjoying a lot lately, is just having an audiobook and reading the text as well, just so I don't have to constantly be reading everything with my eyes. But the only plans I really have for today, as I said, are reading, so I'm hoping to finish those today, or at least one of them today. I've had quite a busy Tuesday today. I went to the dentist this morning just for a regular checkup, so yeah, nothing to worry about there. And then I ended up going to 3 different Superdrugs near me to get this Wednesday makeup that I wanted to get. Yeah, luckily I do have quite a few different options for shops near me. But yeah, it was a bit extreme going to 3 Superdrugs. I hope it's good. So I have the eyeliner, which is in the cello. I love this. We have lip gloss, which has a hand with thing on the top. And then just the makeup, the eyeshadow palette with the holographic. Don't know if you can see that. Holographic. So yeah, it better be worth it. This is really what you get for not picking up things when you see them. Yeah, I saw them, I think it was last month now, all together, and I should have just got them rather than have to go to all these different shops to get them. But yeah, I also popped to TK Maxx and also to Primark, and I got this Wednesday jumper, which is a really good find. I don't normally shop at Primark as I don't really find the clothes never seem to fit me properly, so this was a really good find for me. I also had some nice book mail when I came back, which is always exciting. So I got Hekate by Nikita Gill. This one I've been really excited about for a while. So yeah, I love Greek mythology, and I don't think I've actually read anything about Hekate before. So yeah, this is really exciting, but I didn't realise it was completely written in verse. So it's going to be, yeah, a very interesting experience, an interesting read, I think. But yeah, we have this beautiful Waterstones edition. Yeah, I've read, I think just one book by Nikita Gill before, and that was a collection of poems about Greek myths and goddesses, which was really good. I love her writing, so this is going to be a really intriguing concept. and yeah, I don't think I'll be reading it this month, but maybe we can put it into October's TBR. And then I also got Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood, actually 2 copies of Uncharmed. I accidentally pre-ordered 2, so I'm gonna have to take one of these back. They're both the Waterstones edition. I like these edges. Yeah, it matches my copy of Rewitched, but I did notice they have different colour signatures in the front. So that one is green, and then that one is in blue. So I'm gonna have to decide which colour to keep. I'm thinking probably green, as it matches the cover. But yeah, I'm going to an event with Lucy Jane Wood where she's talking about this book. So yeah, I hope to also get this personalised and signed by her as well. I just have to decide which edition to keep. Talking of Lucy Jane Wood, I did start reading Rewitched because I wanted to read this for the event, even though she's talking about the new book. But yeah, I've got about halfway with this. Yeah, I also got the audiobook from Libby, so I've been listening to that while I've been out. Should be finishing it tomorrow. I've had it for over a year now, so I'm glad to get started with it, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It really has that cozy witchy vibe. But yeah, so that's a busy day. I'm gonna probably relax for a bit now and maybe carry on with reading.
She runs a beautiful bakery in London.
Just thought I would check in with you today. I've been out this morning to my local TK Maxx yet again, just to look, to see if there's anything new in terms of Halloween decorations. I did get myself a new mug with a cat and a pumpkin on. But yeah, I didn't really see much else that I wanted to get yet. But it probably won't be the last time that I go back there. Then we also had some lunch. I had a BLT, but it also had brie in it, which was interesting. I really like that. So today I've been finishing off the Book of Witching by CJ Cook. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's very good in terms of giving us an insight into what happened in Orkney during the witch trials. We do follow Alison, who is imprisoned for being a witch, and then we also have a modern day timeline. So Clem's daughter has suffered from burns, her boyfriend has been burnt alive, and one of her friends is missing. And when she wakes up from a coma, she believes that she's someone called Nyx, and she has no recollection of what happened previously. So it's about her mum, Clem, trying to uncover what happened. So Erin is at the centre of suspicion, as her boyfriend is dead, and also her friend is missing, so she's the only one that would have known what happened. But yeah, it's really interesting about bringing these two stories together. I did think I preferred Alison's story back in the past. So yeah, I did really enjoy this. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I'm gonna chill for the rest of the afternoon, and then potentially I'll pick something else up later. So yeah, see you, bye. Here's a bit of behind the scenes when I'm trying to film my autumn recommendations witchy edition. Yeah, the cat's being very helpful, very cute. There's a lot of books here, and then she's getting some sun. It's Monday the 22nd of September, which means that it's officially the start of autumn, and I'm so happy about that. I've looked forward to this for such a long time, and I'm glad that it's now officially fine for me to be in the autumny mood. I have a little bit more of a quieter week this week, but I do have another author event on Thursday at Waterstones Piccadilly, and that's for Onyikan Braithwaite, who wrote My Sister, the Serial Killer. She has a new book called Cursed Daughters, so I'm going to go and hear her talk about that on Thursday. But apart from that, I don't really have a lot planned, and yeah, I'm just going to chill a bit and get some reading done as well. So I have been reading Now She's a Witch, and I finished this. I read it alongside the audiobook, which was actually really good because Kirsty Logan, who wrote it, read on the audiobook, so it was nice to hear her read her own story. Kirsty Logan is honestly, she has such a way with words. It's quite poetic and dark and atmospheric, and I think she did a really good job of bringing these two characters to life. So we follow Lux, whose house is burnt down. She has lost her mother. She was at a place called The Sanctuary, which is like a rehabilitation place for wayward women or those that had kind of been accused of witchcraft or other wrongdoing. So we don't really know what happened to her there, so we start the novel not knowing why she's been in the sanctuary. Her mother was accused of witchcraft, so was taken away and killed, and Lux returns basically to the aftermath of this, and then we meet Alce, who comes along to specifically seek out Lux, as she is very good with poisons, and Alce wants revenge on a man who wronged her. So the two go off into the wilderness and they end up stumbling across a community. We find out a lot more about Lux's story and Alce's story. And I love the way that Kirsty Logan has split this book into 3 parts. So we have kind of the intro to the world, and then we have Lux's story. So we hear about her time in this sanctuary, and then we have Alce's story, and we hear about her life and why she needed to get revenge on this man. And there was a really interesting twist towards the end, which I didn't really expect, so that was really good. But yeah, Kirsty Logan, I would definitely recommend her as a writer and reading her work. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and now I think I'm gonna have to go back to A Sea of Unspoken Things because yeah, I kind of started that and left that, so I'd like to get that finished yeah, over the next few days. So yeah, see ya. To go into London. I'm going a little bit earlier today. I have the event with Onyikan Braithwaite later at I think 6:30 or 7. So she's going to be talking about her new book, Cursed Daughters. She is author of My Sister the Serial Killer, which I loved. That's set in Lagos in Nigeria and is about sisters. One who ends up calling her sister to say that she needs help to dispose of a body of a guy that she was dating, and it turns out that her sister always gets called and ends up coming to clean up the crime scene and dispose of the body. So yeah, it's a really good book. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, she has a new book out. I haven't got that yet, and I will probably wait for that to come out in paperback, just as I have quite a lot of books to read right now and I want my 2 books by her to match. So yeah, I'll take My Sister the Serial Killer to get signed by her. And then I also booked myself into a Charlotte Tilbury makeover. They were doing a special event for masterclasses in September, and they're free, and where normally they would be £150, so yeah, making some good savings there. But yeah, I don't really know what to expect from the makeover. I'm just interested to see how I should do makeup. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, apart from that, I will just go up and have some lunch and look at some bookshops as well while I'm up there. So yeah, I'll speak to you later. Bye. So I went to the Onyikan Braithwaite event last night at Waterstones Piccadilly. I got my copy of My Sister the Serial Killer signed. It was really a great event, and it was interesting to see how she writes and how she picks her next idea for her story and kind of the writing process. And it was interesting to see how she'd really struggled after the success of My Sister the Serial Killer to get started on her next novel. So I also went to my Charlotte Tilbury makeover, and it was about an hour and a half, but she used about 22 different products on my face, so yeah, that was a lot. It was meant to be kind of an everyday makeup that I could apply just for daily wear, but I feel for me it was a little bit more something I'd wear while going out. But I enjoyed the experience, and it was completely free, so yeah, it was good. I also had another quick look around Waterstones Piccadilly after the event, found some really interesting books, particularly in the YA section. They had quite a few interesting displays, and also one with dystopian fiction. So yeah, I looked there, and then that was really it. I came home. I realised that I didn't update you on my progress with the Sea of Unspoken Things. So yeah, I finished this, and again, I loved it. It wasn't quite 5 stars, not quite as good as Spells for Forgetting for me, but it was really enjoyable, and Adrienne Young is so good at writing atmosphere, and she just crafts beautiful sentences, and I love her writing. She's also very good at writing mystery and writing small town communities where everybody knows each other, but lots of people are hiding different secrets. And it was interesting to see how events from the past have impacted these people in this town and the main character, James. She also sprinkled a little bit of magic in there, and was also a little bit ghostly. Another thing she's very good at is writing romance, and I enjoyed the romance in here. The only thing I would say is that the ending felt a little bit rushed. Whilst I was happy with the conclusion for these characters, I think that I would like to see a little bit more of what happened to these characters after they'd solved the mystery. So this is the end of the vlog. I hope you've enjoyed the last couple of weeks. I'm also keen to hear what you've been reading over this month. Leave me a comment of what you've been reading or any books that you're really excited to read, and subscribe to my channel for more of my content. Thank you for watching. Bye.